book of human kindness. Yes. Do you think you have that in you? Well, now, this is why I'm asking. Yes. So you see, recently, the coordinator of the Ngeni Flood Disaster Response Organization in Ahoda West, Nyata Abieba, says there's a slight increase in the water level of the Orashi River. Now, he told our correspondent that the slight increase may be due to the recent rainfall in the area. The community leader, however, added that there is still no flooding in any of the communities, right? No flooding yet. And I think that's a pretty good thing just yet. Take a listen.
For Orashi, for now, there's no threat of flood. But there is report now that yesterday and today there's a bit rise along Orashi River, but it has not threatened any settlement, and the rise is very, very minimal. And people who are attributing to the heavy downpour that occurred for the past 2 days, there was heavy downpour. You know, NEMA is saying that Cameroon has opened its Lagdo Dam. Flood has not entered any home.
So, no floods, any home. Great. But if you are in River State, and in particular, you may have noticed that a part of the Ikwe Road, a good part of the Ikwe Road, 2 days ago when there was a heavy rainfall, experienced very interesting amount of flooding. Yes, you call it flash floods. After a while, the drainages are able to, funnel the water away, yada, yada, yada. But I do know that some people's homes were actually affected. And then, as we look at our friends and relatives who are in the rural area who are likely, according to NIMET, who are at high risk of having floods, overtake their homes, as we saw last year and the year before, I have to ask this question once again. Where's your drop of human kindness? Now, what would it take for you, yes, you listening to us right now, to take in a flood-affected person? What would he take in? Remember last year, a lot of people complained that, okay, first and foremost, the shelters were not comfortable. The government was not responding properly. They were not getting adequate supplies, water, healthcare facilities, blah, blah, blah. And we know that, in River State in particular, people have not been impressed by whether it's FEMA or the State Emergency Management Board, whatever it is. They're not particularly been impressed in recent times. But I'm asking, because over the years, in other countries, when things go really bad, check for example, a few months ago, there were earthquakes in Morocco, right? I mean, you probably remember that, okay? And also in Turkey as well, explosions left, right, and center. And one of the biggest tragedies in recent years, particularly in that area, was the Lebanon explosion. I remember that, right? Where an entire facility just went boom. It felt like a huge bomb went off, and it affected people for months. To today, there are still people who are still reeling off that particular disaster. So, what would it take? Because during those periods, I read about people who opened their doors to take in strangers, people who had lost everything. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't quite heard that wide scale open door policy here. From 2012 to last year, there have been floods at several points. Bayelsa was affected. Some of you who were very generous opened your arms to your family members whose houses were taken over by floods in Yenegua. But what about those whom you don't know? Let's assume you don't know anybody at all who lived in Yenegua or who is in Orashi area, and you hear something happens. What would it take for you to house somebody who's been affected by floods?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
As always, turn on the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. There's a call screener and the numbers to use: 08179230002, 08179230007, 08179230002, 08179230007. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. That's Twitter. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. My question to you is, what would it take for you, listening to us right now, to take in flood-affected people? What exactly needs to happen? What will make you say, you know what, I have to help? So WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. That's where you find us on WhatsApp and Telegram. Please don't call that number, all right? Please don't call. Good morning. The high rates of flooding in Port Harcourt metropolis is so alarming. Amechi School Road, Air Force Junction, Umpolu Junction, Rumigbo, Ogologo Road, Ikwere Road, Odili Road, etc. The state government should find lasting solutions as people are being displaced regularly during heavy downpour. It's become a norm in some parts of Port Harcourt year in, year out. Government should do something before we can assist. That's America Monday. It says government should do something before we can assist. But let's be very honest right now. Let's agree you are not impressed with what the government has done so far. But now that's the reality that you find yourself. You see, these things that we talk about, it may not have happened to you. You may never have experienced loss of property due to fire or flooding or armed robbery, or even the loss of loved ones. But the same way it happened to that person is the same way it can happen to you, just like that. Just like that. Barry is in Bori. Barry, good morning to you. We have account also in Bori. Go on, Barry.
Okay. One of the reasons why people don't do that in this part of the world is I had a neighbor which have a stranger came in, their house was born. Lady stays there for 3 weeks. Before you know it, I taking over the house from the lady.
How? How did they take over the house?
When the woman goes to out for business, the girl will wear short bone skirts.
Which one is bone skirt again?
Before you say this is the husband.
Wahoo!
And that was how the family was scattered.
Akanto, also in Bori. Akanto, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, my brother, my friend. To Port Harcourt.
Good morning.
Shout! You know, why the issue of flood? My country was very simple, huge. I think last 2 years ago, there about a flood in Rivers were occasioned by natural disaster from the what they call it Cameroon, something.
Yeah, we know that. I can't.
We have talked about Port Harcourt.
Yeah, I'm asking you, what would it take you, Akanto, right, to open your doors to somebody who has been affected by flooding? What would need to happen before you say, okay, let me help this person?
If it is affected by natural disaster, I would say enter. But I also ask the question. That's what they come to your house, the first artillery or second artillery, or the Bori, the Kennedy Street or Major Street in Bori. Is it occasioned by the human activities?
Wait, Akanto. We have Michael in Bori. Michael, let me hear from you very quickly. Michael, go on, please.
Okay, Jude.
Very quickly.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Talking about philosophy, just reminded me of late Dr. Andrew Efemini of Uniport.
Yeah.
Yes. See, Jude, the truth is that one has to be kind to himself or herself before he would show kindness to other person.
Okay.
If you are not kind to your environment, how do you think someone will be kind to you? Because it's easy to help somebody, but if the person doesn't deserve the help, there's no need to help the person.
How do you then know somebody who deserves help? The person's house has just been flooded, Michael. Michael, let's go on the break. Hold your thoughts, right? When we come back, I'd like to get to hear from you. How do you then know who's deserving? When the people of Yenegua, had their homes, taken overrun by water last year, who was deserving of help?
Are you
aware that Cool FM
to this Friday edition of Hello Port Harcourt. It is the Friday show. Yeah, I always try to keep myself, in check. Before we get to let loose, come on, Jude, you can't even help yourself. Anywho, so this morning I'm asking you, right? Do you have that milk of human kindness that I so often hear about? Now, this message says, good morning, Jude. To your question, a lot of people would often say, what are the religious organizations doing? But I have to ask, what are they doing? Because aren't they part of the religious organizations? When things like this come up, you often hear people go, oh, the churches should, the mosques should. But what about they themselves? It's a good question. Are they not part of those groups? Now ask them, what would it take, once again, to help somebody in need? Which is what I'm asking you. This is not the time for you to say, oh, what are the churches doing? Where is the milk of human kindness? But are you not part of the mosque? Are you not part of the church? Are you not part of the Igbesu group? What exactly needs to push you to say, oh, look, people on Orashi River. Look, a lot of you are sitting on the fence on this one because it hasn't happened to you. Imagine your neighbors all waking up one day in comfort, and then the very next day they go to bed, and when they wake up the following day, their house is gone. What would it take for you to put them up for a few weeks or heck, even months? I read a story back in the US. How many of you remember Hurricane Katrina? When a whole area, when I mean area, probably like maybe the size of, like say Port Harcourt, right? Was devastated, or maybe half of Port Harcourt was devastated, by the hurricane. Houses, everything gone. People were homeless. FEMA, they have FEMA there, by the way, came in. They had tents, camps where people can stay. They were given their food. But ultimately, people needed a place where they can feel at home, where they can try and get their lives back on. I heard stories of people who opened their doors. They will come to these camps. They will say, oh, look, FEMA, we can take care of 3 or 4 people. Can you identify a family that we can take care of? And then okay, go take this person, take Mr. Jude, take his family, and we would send you a check maybe every month and for the period of maybe 6 months or 8 months whilst they are there with you. Are you cool with that? Some opted for that. Others didn't want anything to do with FEMA. All they just said, look, we are a church group, we are a social group, we want to try and help as many people from this area. So if you live in this community, we've built a home. Come and stay there for free. And some would come and see a little girl or a little boy. Oh, where's your mommy? Oh, I lost my mommy. And say, you know what? Is your auntie there? Say, yes. Okay, you know what? You and your auntie or you, we can just stay with us. We'll buy you clothes. They send people to school, ladies and gentlemen. They send people to school. I'm not saying there are no nice, loving, kind people. But the word I'm trying to use here is kind. I'm not saying that there aren't any in River State. I'm asking, what will it take for you to open your doors, taking somebody who has literally lost everything? Everything. We have a caller on the line. Person chooses to remain anonymous. Good morning to you and welcome, please.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Jude.
Good morning.
Please permit me to remain anonymous.
Yes, please.
Interesting topic. However, when it comes to helping, I think helping has a level, natural disaster. For me, I will encourage people to help. But it's national, like the ones you have mentioned. The Hurricane Katrina, the bomb that exploded in Lebanon, and what have you. However, let's look at human-made disaster using Rumimbo as a case study.
Oh, wow.
If you are sending property along canal or waterway, I think the only help I will need, the government should declare an emergency, especially in Rumimbo, what we call flood disaster emergency. That is a long-lasting help to the people of Rumimbo. The same thing should apply to the people of Rumimbo. Declare a flood emergency there. Any house sitting on the waterway, demolish. Use the Lagos pattern. Any house, that is a help, Mr. Good. Help the people of Rumimbo. Remove any house sitting on the waterway, not looking anybody's face. That will help. In fact, one person's house is making other people to suffer. Remove that person's house. And that is a long-lasting help.
Okay. All right. Michael is in Borough Creek. Michael, good morning to you, please. Welcome.
Good. Thank you.
Good morning.
Talking about kindness. Now, look at it this way. Most of these people going through this place, are they not members of different organizations? Some of the churches, some of the mosques, of the Jew traditional worshippers. What will it take them as a member organization to come together to clean their drainages? Then let the government bring in their bulldozers or their payload or the swamp boogie to do those larger ones. What does it take?
Yeah, but Michael, you're talking about a preventive measure. Okay, have them remove. But I'm talking about brothers and sisters who are somewhere in Orashi.
Okay, fine. Last time I was telling you that some people does not deserve kindness, right?
Okay.
Now the person who is throwing dirt inside in front of our shop or in front of his or her house, does that person is that person doing kindness to his or herself? You know that basket you are throwing into that drainage when it rains, it will definitely block that. Even though you don't go to school, common sense will tell that, look, if you are throwing into the drainage will cause damage in the long run. Does that person deserve help in the first place?
Wow.
That's the question we should ask ourselves. So why should I go and help that kind of person?
But how would you know if wait, see, Michael, how would you then know if this person whose house just got flooded, right, was contributing to the dirt in the drainage? Like I said, those people in Orashi area, in all the in the parts of MOA who are affected, or even in Yenegua last year, how can you now say, okay, this person he needs to throw, he's part of the problem, I won't help him?
And that's what you mean. Okay, fine, good. I'll answer your question. Now, if I throw basket into the drainage, the basket might not stop at my place. It will move to other person's place due to the water
flow. Yeah.
Yes. So that is why we should monitor each other. Know at what point this thing came. Know at what point this will end. If you know where that somebody is on the road, you won't see anything. You keep quiet and walk past it with your Bible in your armpit or with your Quran in your armpit. You see somebody do the wrong thing, you won't say anything. Remember that shit will rush down to your domot one day and you will drink from it, or your livestock will drink from it. So at that point, you have refused to show kindness to that person. So how would somebody help you? It is a law of nature. That is it.
Okay. So, all right, Michael, thank you very much. Well, it seems as though we are nitpicking this right now, because, like I said, but like the example I gave from the Hurricane Katrina incident, I don't think people were going, oh, did this man used to pay taxes? Are you from the middle class area? We can only take. I don't know if they did that. Don't get me wrong. I cannot speak for them. I wasn't there, and it would be foolhardy of me to, I say, well, paint a picture of perfection or utopia when it comes to the United States of America. No, but these things happen. They were recorded. Are you saying that if tomorrow now a truckload of flood victims were to come and they are at Choba Junction or something, or they start to move away, or like we've been hearing for the past 2-3 years, God back and help us? Are you saying, oh, we'll go, their council didn't do anything, so who am I? I can't help those kind of people. Christian is in our order. Good morning, please. Good morning.
Mr. Good, people don't understand your question. We are educated, but they don't understand such questions. See, let me tell you something. Your action and kindness is other flood victims, not the preventing measures. Yeah, we the middle people, we used to help. When we see such things, like we that live in a hotel, we can raise nothing to them individually, privately. Where they thing like us, some of those politicians don't help, and they have access to bring something collective from the government. Some of them, when they bring, they will not give to those poor victims. It's only way that the middle people can buy something, they put item and give them. So people don't understand that question. We are talking about help, kindness, not prevention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christian. I think Christian seems to get the point there. On Facebook and on X at Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. This morning, we're talking about, flood, and I'm asking you, what would happen? What do you think would make you take in a flood victim? What exactly needs to happen? We know we're in a peculiar situation in this country. Yes, everybody gets it. But when we talk about assistance, we've heard people's at one point. I remember when Bayelsa Yenagoa was cut off. Was that 2012? Yeah, that's 2012 flood. How many of you remember that, right? When we had big companies saying they were donating money, relief, which was all good. But till today, some people say, look, many of those people did not get those relief materials. We know that. But you in Port Harcourt, those of you who were in Warri at that point in time, those of you who could, as it were, send for your aunties and your uncles or your mothers or your grandmothers to leave Yenagoa, to leave the parts that were affected by floods to your homes, I salute you. But there were a great number of people who didn't have that luxury, who didn't have the pleasure of your benevolence. And I'm asking, what exactly needs to happen for you? Because when I saw the floods, right, on that Aba Road, was that 2 days ago, I was shaking my head. I was shaking my head because shops were closed. And if you want to see a very clear example of something like that could happen in the not too distant future, get to Nkpolu Junction, please. When it rains, and it rains heavily, the median, right, the water level rises to somewhere close to the top of the median. Cars, the water gets to the bonnet of cars. Yes, you may say it's a flash flood, but don't forget, this thing, if it continuously, if it continuously happens, right, it's going to deteriorate the foundation, buildings will be affected, who knows, maybe houses may have to be vacated. Now, in that instant, let's use that Nkpolu for an example. What if those people around, yes, we are very grateful that the road has been fixed, right, but the flood hasn't been solved. The problem, whatever it is that's causing that flood, hasn't been solved. We can't deny it any longer. So what if the houses around those areas, right, get affected, and then the people, whilst they were sleeping, having a great time, they wake up and their beds are outside? So you who lives in Eliozu, your house is dry. You heard that over 500 people in Rumigbo area were displaced. Please, I'm asking, what would it take for you to open your doors and say, I can take 2 people, I can take 3 people, come and stay in my house? What exactly needs to happen? I once again, see this phrase, milk of human kindness? How does it get expressed? Is my question. As always, 017-923-0003, 0817923-0007. That's the studio line. Those are the studio numbers to call in. There's a call screener. Just drop your name and we'll have you talk to us through that particular link. At Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. The WhatsApp number is 0809 030 6416, 0809 030 6416. Well, King Alice says the flooding in Nkpolu each time it rains is becoming something of worry to the residents each time it rains. The government should go there and do the needful. Labour should off their microphone. I have lost value in them. But we're not talking about Labour, but Alice, the government should do the needful. The government is not going to act overnight. And I'm saying right now, if the worst case scenario happens, because those flash floods that some of you are experiencing, whether it's parts of GRA, Rumigbo, where else, Diobu, close to Oluwabasanjo, the exit point. Some people have made mention of that area too. Now, if these things continue, it's only a matter of time. There is going to be damage. It's inevitable. We cannot fold our eyes, close our eyes rather, and pretend it's not going to happen. But I'm saying, if that does happen, if, as Nimet is predicting, that some areas in Nigeria will experience some flooding this year, if it does happen, and we have people who are going to be talking about the settlement camps, the flood victim area, not comfortable. I'm asking, where's the milk of human kindness that will make somebody who's living in GRA, in Rukboku, in Ozoba, to say, you know what, let me go and find out if there's anybody I can help? What if the government tomorrow, the Rivers State government, says, oh, we cannot manage the number of people in the camps. Please, we would like for some well-meaning Rivers residents to please take in as many families as they can help cater for a period of so and so time. 2 months, 1 month. What will make you oblige that offer? That's my question this morning. No, I'm not asking you how much you can donate. What will make you actually take it? Because when you do that, you are actively involved in the welfare of those people. Good morning, Jude. Are you asking the same Nigerians who will refuse to pay the proper taxes? Are you asking the same Nigerians who would bribe? Are you asking the same Nigerians who will lie, cheat, and steal just in the name of moving forward to come and help other people? No, Jude, I don't think that is even possible. Is that? But we have a lot of kind people here. We have, I know, I'm not saying I think, I know we have a lot of people who can do that. Okonkwo is a room Okuza. Okonkwo, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, Brother Jude.
Good morning.
The issue of flood. I can accommodate 5 or 6
Interesting.
to 10 persons.
Interesting.
But, Brother Jude, I want to draw this information to your notice. In 2018, during the time of Trump, there was a serious flood in Mexico. That thousands were displaced. Trump was there. And finally, they came up with what is called Final Flood Prevention Policy and enforced it. Brother Jude, have you heard about that again? And by God's grace, you will never hear that again. Can't I'm begging, can't we come to this level of setting a final flood prevention policy and put it into practice so that it will not be every year continue to suffer. I will accommodate from 6 to 10 this year.
Wow.
But accommodate 6 to 10 in 2014, 2015, and so on. Let's come up with policy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I agree, policies need to come through. But when we have these issues, see, people who are in need don't think of policy. Williams is speaking to us from Rukboku. Good morning to you, Williams.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Jude.
Good morning.
Yeah, accommodating people, in times like this, in flooding times like this, depends a lot of things. One, how long am I accommodating this person? How long will this person stay with me? I will be feeling that I will be responsible with this person, even though the government may say I will give you some money to take care of this person for this particular
period.
Reasonable. And what even happens when this person comes to the house and finds comfort?
and does not want to even return to where it's coming from again. We know our Nigerian mentality. So there will be a lot of determining factors to want to say, will this person stay with me, or will this person, or can I accommodate people? People just stay. People don't really think of a long-term effect. For me, I don't think. For me, I may not. I may not really accommodate anybody if the government cannot do. It's difficult.
So Williams, let us speak hypothetically. Williams, what if you find yourself in a situation where you are homeless? Like say a fire engulfed your building, or flooding, or even worse still, your building collapsed, right? And it's not just your building. One whole street, every building just falls for what miraculous reason. And someone says, Williams, I'd like to keep you for 3 months. Are you saying you won't take that offer?
If somebody actually makes the offer and gives me a particular period of time, I want to help you for a period of 3 months. Of course, if the person is the one who makes that offer, of course I will take it, because I have no other choice at that particular time.
Okay.
But saying, calling people to come and go accommodate people, come and take people flooded with you and all
so
that.
So what makes you feel that person who's offering you that act of generosity and kindness was not being encouraged by someone else?
To be even very honest with you, there are few people who could actually do that. Few people who don't know you, because what has been happening with the records and templates of what has been happening before, people really do that. They hardly do that. Even the NEMA, which is responsible to taking people, to shelters and camps like this, they don't do it. So all these people that you've seen are actually saying a lot from either from church or family members. There are people who have come to us in times like this. But say ordinary Nigerians, they go enter CNN if you have one.
Well, maybe it's about to happen. Good morning. Remove Nkpolu, Rumigbo, Odili, Amechi Drive, Olu Obasanjo. They should be removed from your list of people that need help. These people created their own disaster with selfishness by selling waterways. I can help people in Bayelsa, in Aoda, etc. But why are you selective? Because let's be honest, majority of the people who are resident in these areas that we just made mention had no business in the land allocation, the land survey, the construction of those buildings. They are just tenants. Some of them just went, we're looking for a house, they go and stay. How are they meant to know? So because they had the money or the means to pay rent, they shouldn't be helped? Andy from Elelomo says, Nigerians are amazing people. We expect kindness, but are willing to be kind to others. Just imagine how people who have called and turned the question from what it takes to be kind to telling you why they will not be kind. And the issue of flood prevention, I think the government should check on all those real estate organizations. They might just be erecting houses or structures in waterways and other channels. The operations need to be really curtailed and checkmated. Andy from Elelomo. Onomeo Inoyibo says, I can't help somebody I don't know well, but I can accommodate anyone that's a member of my religion, because we have trust amongst ourselves, even if it's from somewhere white, black, because we're a member of Jehovah's Witness. I see. So what exactly does it mean to have the milk of human kindness if you're only going to be kind and generous to people who are from your sect? Whether they are Igbo, Hausa, Tiv, Yoruba, because they are from your sect, you take them in, it's still a form of segregation. Human kindness. When we come back, I'll wrap up with a story. Maybe you should put this into perspective. My name is Jude. Hello Potako returns. Human kindness. Wow.
For more talk,